If you feel like you're being too judgmental of other people, take a walk with me. We live in a really busy world that is often complex and complicated to navigate. We are always scanning or taking in or consuming various inputs and a wide array of information from various sources. And you may not fully know, understand, or embody this, but what you do with that information is a choice. And this is where many of you will say, no, it's not. How can I even choose how I feel about something? It's not even a choice. It just is what it is, and that's how I'm always going to feel about it. And one of the most popular examples of this in the personal development space is when you're driving in your car and somebody cuts you off. You'll have some very poetic word choices and some different hand signals. That was so deeply personal to me. How dare you do that to me? You perceive that action as reckless, careless, and intentional. They saw you from miles away and decided that morning that, yeah, that person, I'm going to cut them off. Watch this. And when you live in a victim mindset, that's your emotional home. You take everything personally. When you recognize that the world doesn't revolve around you and that you don't have to take everything personally, you start to feel much lighter and happier. You don't have to let these things ruin your day or to steal your peace and joy. This is more about your relationship with discomfort and uncertainty. In this moment, you have a lower capacity and threshold for those things. But with a little work and some self-awareness, you can begin to stretch that capacity. And when you do, you'll be glad and grateful that you did, because you'll no longer be outsourcing your well-being to other people. You won't be giving it away so freely. Then the question is, why do you take things so personally? I don't know. That's something for you to figure out, and it's going to be unique to each of you, but it's certainly a string that you want to start to pull on. A lot of times it's because there was some shock, surprise, and it was unexpected. And because you're unprepared or underprepared for the unexpected, you'll immediately blame the other person and label it as bad. But here's the catch, and you'll probably find this a little bit funny. When you cut someone off, you'll wave and go, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean that." There's often something, an obstacle that made it so that you couldn't avoid that interaction. Your dog threw up in the back of the car. Your kid threw their sippy cup at you. And if you're in Illinois, there was a pothole. It's almost impossible to miss those. Regardless of why, you know that your intention wasn't to cause harm or to upset anyone. What's even more interesting is we're often judgmental of the way people spend their time, their money, and what they do with their lives. And you have to ask yourself, whose life are you living, yours or theirs? That's why it's important to put the focus back on you and tell yourself, it's none of my business. And if I want to be behind, you'll find yourself less offended and more in tune with your goals, dreams, desires, hopes, wishes, and prayers. You'll also find that you're able to tap into your happiness and joy. And much like the Grinch's heart, your empathy will grow. That allows you to step back and go, you know what? I bet they're going through something. You'll remind yourself that it's not your job to focus on what other people are doing with their lives. Non-judgment takes practice, but it also requires you to keep your side of the street clean. You'll find that what you criticize in others are the things that you're not doing for yourself. So do you, boo. You'll thank yourself later.